Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down into bite-sized pieces. Today, we've got just one story to go over, just like yesterday. And the reason why we're only going to go over one story is because this story is a lot bigger than what I thought it was initially. And when I started to put the pieces together, it became a massive story. And I'm going to go through some things and we're going to talk about why I believe that Bakkt and their different positions that they're taking up right now is going to lead to incredibly fast mass adoption and how it's going to drive everything going forward. Also, after we go over this story, let's go over the scam of the day. And for all you that have gone into it and clicked on these links to help us get rid of scams, I want to say thanks very much. We appreciate it. So let's get to the top story. So first up, starts off, it says not just eBay, but the New York Stock Exchange owner Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, pushes Bakkt to retail with latest acquisition. And I had heard a couple of days that Bakkt had started to go through the steps of acquiring eBay, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry company. And I thought to myself, well, that's dumb. I mean, it's just another big company absorbing another big company. So great, fantastic. I didn't really put the pieces together, but after that, I saw this article, it all came into play, and I'm like, okay, I get it. So let's start with the article. It says the owner of the New York Stock Exchange, ICE, stunned many on Wall Street recently with a reported takeover bid for e-commerce marketplace eBay. Now, the group is aggressively trying to push its regulated Bitcoin derivatives exchange Bakkt into the retail space. Got it, makes sense. But I'm like, eBay, who cares about eBay? I mean, eBay is kind of like, if you're not from, eBay is global, but if you're not familiar with it, you can just sell little knickknacks on there, anything that's used that you just, or new, doesn't really matter, but something that you as an individual want to put into eBay and you have to do your own shipping and everything else. It's kind of a pain, actually. But if you want to get rid of some stuff, hey, eBay's not a bad place to go. Anyhow, it says Bakkt, the digital assets subsidiary of the parent of the New York Stock Exchange, or Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, has focused on providing institutional investors with regulated crypto derivatives instruments such as Bitcoin futures and options. And this is big because for all these institutions to get in there, they're pretty spoiled. They want things that they are used to, things that make it easy to acquire and transact. And when they have things such as Bitcoin or futures and options, it makes it feel comfortable because they know what it is and then they start to slowly edge into it. So that's a great thing. And we want as many people to get into the space as fast as possible. On Wednesday, ICE has announced that it has agreed to acquire Bridge2 Solutions, a provider of loyalty solutions. So going down, when Bridge2 Solutions ultimately joins Bakkt, the strategic combination will accelerate the development of its consumer app, which will provide digital asset aggregation, conversion, and payments through a single platform. So I'm like, oh, great. Another app. How many apps are out there for cryptocurrency? There's tons of apps. Great. One more, I suppose. Who cares, really? And then I really thought about it. I'm like, why? Why are they spending all this money to acquire Bridge Solutions? Why are they spending all this money to acquire eBay? It's just for payments, but are just little knickknacks. I don't understand why. And then I remembered something that I had read, and actually I had looked into months and months back. If you don't know, I own a couple of businesses. One of those is I sell things on Amazon. And I work with different distributors here in the United States and China, and I ship in different units and I send them to Amazon warehouses. And Amazon does everything for me, essentially. All I have to do is pretty much just make sure I make the right decisions as far as what to sell, and I have liquidity on hand. Buy these units, ship them into the Amazon warehouses throughout the US and Europe, wherever I'm selling. And they do all the work for me, essentially. But you have to pay for that. But my business, it has limitations. And the limitations are, if you aren't through Amazon, then I cannot reach you because I work through Amazon, right? Now, Amazon's pretty ginormous as it is. But I had heard, a couple months back that eBay was getting into the whole fulfillment service. So if you're not familiar, there's this thing called FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. That's essentially what I do. So I will send in products. Amazon will store those products at their warehouse, one of their warehouses. When an order comes in, they will get the item ready, they will box it up, they will ship it out, and they will also do the customer service for me. So if there's any problems with it, people want to ship it back or whatever else, they do all those things. And it's great. Now I have to pay a percentage of all of my revenue, but that's okay because I don't want to sit here and ship out products all day long. I've got other things to do and I don't have time for that. So with eBay came along and said, look, we're going to do that too. And this was from the CEO. So it talks about eBay is introducing managed delivery, a cost-effective fulfillment service to launch next year. This article was on July 24th, 2019. Beginning in the US, that will provide shoppers faster and more reliable delivery on millions of popular products. The initiative will enable sellers with high volume inventory to meet rising consumer expectations or reducing cost and complexity. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So essentially what they're doing is they're going to compete with Amazon. That's all it says. And when I first read this, I'm like, great. Not too many people know about it because they're not sellers. So when you have, massive amount of inventory and you are just kind of bogged down with Amazon, you would like another outlet. So if eBay does something like this with all the people that go on eBay, you're like, sure, I'll try it. I actually signed up for it and I'm waiting for eBay to get back with me to tell me, yes, you can ship, your thousands of units over to some of our warehouses and we'll do the fulfillment for you. So when I first saw this article where Bakkt is going to purchase eBay, I didn't really think too much of it. I'm like, whatever, they're just trying to absorb another company. But now I get it. So they're going to essentially compete with Amazon, and that's great. But the question I always had was, well, how are they going to get their products in there? Because how are they going to convince all these different products? Like, I'm just a small, retailer, small seller. But if they have a company like Bridge to Solutions, where they are a massive company, billion-dollar company, and they have different partners, different sponsors. They essentially just do loyalty programs to have people coming back. And when I was looking at their website, I go, okay, well, how big are they? 1.5 trillion points redeemed, great. 300 million members, that's quite a bit. They power 7 of the top 10 financial institutions. What? And they have 5 million products under management. That's heavy. So I thought about well, what are we talking about here? Let's take a look at the industries. Who do they work with? What are their products? Well, they don't really say specifically what their products are. They talk about the financial, travel and hospitality, health and wellness, retail, and they support every type of industry out there, and there's 5 million products within those industries. I think this is great. So what Bakkt is essentially doing is going, okay, we're going to absorb eBay. We're going to start to sell these products. And then we need a way to get these products in. So what are we going to do? We're going to buy Bridge to Solutions. We're going to take Bridge to Solutions. We're going to tell all those members, look, you guys can still keep going on as you see fit. However, if you want a whole new stream of customers, we have eBay fulfillment by eBay service. And if you're a retailer, you can ship them into our warehouses just like Amazon. We're probably going to cut the price, and we're going to do the same type of service that they do at a cheaper price. And you're going to have another form of customers coming to you through eBay. Not a bad deal. So all those things that we talked about are great, right? But then it kind of becomes down to the same thing. Well, if you're just going to do this, is this just for a company and you want to make a bunch of money, which is essentially what all businesses want to do, just make a ton of money. But how easy are you going to make it? Because if you're going to talk about cryptocurrencies and digital assets, and how does that all work? Well, it comes down to this. This was a Medium post. Medium is a place where you can put a bunch of blog posts and whatnot. And this is from Mike Blandina. He is the new CEO of Bakkt. And he just says a couple of things here, which kind of ties it all together. And he says, a key feature of the model, Weave, talking about Bakkt, designed is to support a superset of digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, plural, not just Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. I'll get to that in a second. As seamlessly as investors transact in stocks in a retail brokerage account, our vision is to provide a consumer platform for managing a digital asset portfolio, whether they wish to store, like a store of value, like a Bitcoin, transact, where you can make easy transactions where it's like 2 to 3 seconds and you can have tons of transactions per second, like an XRP. Trade or transfer their assets, some things like on Ethereum, where they have all these different chains and different dApps. Sure. Bakkt's goal to innovate at the intersection of digital assets and payments. That's their goal. And then he talks about himself. He's got more than 25 years of payments experience, spanning product, engineering, strategy, and operations at companies such as Google, PayPal, and Blackhawk Network. I've worked to solve pain points and create product breakthroughs for both merchants and consumers. Why did I read that to you? It is because it is not what you know, it is who you know. And this guy and the team that he has around him, they know a lot of different things about payments. And payments is what is going to drive this whole process. If they can get these people in and they can say, look, we're going to make this seamless. We're going to make it so you can work. And we're going to do this one thing really well, then they can pull it all off. Now, if they don't have that, if they just have, let's just say engineers. I mean, just engineers that like can write code all day long. That doesn't cut it in business. You have to have the whole spectrum. You have to have the whole thing come together, or else it just falls apart. If you've ever tried to start a business, I don't care what you're good at, but you have to be good at a number of things. And if you're just good at one specific thing, and it doesn't matter how great your product is, the business is going to fail. There's a reason why small business startups, they have an incredibly high failure rate. And it's just because people just don't understand of not just the work that it takes, but how you have to be like, wear many hats and have like a driving force to do multiple different things and do them well. So that's why I say I like companies like this. I like companies like Ripple, where they have a CEO like Brad Garlinghouse, who is he's a great salesman, essentially, and he knows exactly all the different pain points the banks are, because he's worked with banks for a long amount of time, and it makes sense. Moving on, let's tie it all together. He says it's often said that digital assets will be successful when consumers don't have to think about the technology underlying them, and that's true. I mean, how many of us sit back and we go to Google and we start to think about TCP/IP and the different protocols that go along with the internet? No, we don't. We don't, because it's seamless. It happens in the background. We don't know most of us, I'm not a big techie guy, but most of us don't know what's going on in the background, right? And that's how it should be with digital assets and cryptocurrencies. For the majority of it, for the majority to hit this market, it should be seamless, just like what he's talking about. So he says, we're delivering this opportunity in 4 key areas. Digital asset infrastructure, essentially the plumbing. They're getting the plumbing right so everything can move smoothly. The second one, marketplace access. They're going to be launching the app, the consumer app, to make it easy for consumers to discover and unlock the value of digital assets, as well as ways in which they can transact or track them. Merchants gain access to a broader set of customers with expanded spending power. I'm a merchant. That sounds good to me. I want as many people as I can. I don't care what you pay me in. I do not care. I don't care if it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Tomato Coin, Tron. I don't care. As long as you pay me, I'm pretty happy. And actually, I'm the same way as far as an investor. I've said this many times. I don't care what goes up. What's good for one is good for all. If Power Ledger goes up, I'm like, fantastic, our cryptocurrency went up. I'm super pumped. If Cosmos goes up, great. Now, I personally have invested in these 6. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, EOS, Chainlink, and Cardano. So if those go up, great. I'm really happy. If the other ones go up, fantastic. Don't care. As long as something goes up, I'm pretty happy. All right. And he talks about maximizing control, ultimate control over their digital assets, including the flexibility of how to use them. And talks about how they're going to maximize the stuff. And then establishing trust. Great. We'll see if that happens. Merchants sometimes and payment processors haven't been having a good track record so far, but we'll see. And then the last part. He says, we're now focused on the development of the consumer app and merchant portal, as well as testing with our first launch partner, Starbucks, which we expect in the first half of next year. So great. So great. They're going to swallow up eBay. essentially being Amazon. They're going to bring products to eBay with the Bridges solutions, and then they're going to use their app for all the different payments that things are going to have to use, and they're going to run everything in the background. People don't even know it's a cryptocurrency, essentially, just going, wow, that's really fast, I like that. And it's all going to run together. That's the plan, Stan. We'll see how it works out. But I understand now why they did this and why they are putting these pieces together. I get it. The last thing I was thinking about, what about regulation? I mean, you know, with cryptocurrency digital assets, there has to be regulation in place because we, as Americans, and for everybody from the UK and Australia and India, hello, as Americans, we're really lax on regulation right now. We have a lot of different bills going through Congress to be voted on, but nothing is concrete. So how's that going to work? I mean, you have to wait for that, right? Well, not if you're Bakkt, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the former CEO of Bakkt, Kelly Loeffler, she is now Georgia's U.S. Senator. Senator, right? You only got 2 per state, and she's one of them in Georgia. Fantastic. And she's been appointed on committees that overlook these types of regulation. Funny how that works. Here's what's also funny. You know who she's married to? This guy, Jeffrey Sprecher. Sprecher? He's the founder, chairman, and CEO of Intercontinental Exchange and chairman of the New York Stock Exchange. Funny how that all works. That's amazing. So I think they got regulation covered. If you're telling me these guys don't sit down at dinner every night and say, how was your day, dear? That was great. We're really getting that legislation passed so we can make a ton of money. Fantastic. Let's get this going because we need to have mass adoption for cryptocurrencies. That's right. And I'll leave it right there. So thanks for sticking with me through all the rants. Really appreciate it. Only one today because it was kind of involved. I don't want to go for a 30-minute video today. But if you got time, stick around. Only take a couple minutes. We're going to go over the scam of the day. So first off, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. In our channel, we do something a little different. And what we're doing is we're getting rid of scammers because in 2020, I believe mass adoption, like the articles and stories we just talked about, they're going to lead to a bunch of people coming in. And a bunch of those people come in, they are prone to scams. So in the description of every one of my videos, underneath, it'll say in nice big bold letters, it will say scam of the day. And right next to scam of the day will be a link, and that link will go to this handy dandy Google spreadsheet. And we created this because I did a poll and I asked all my subscribers, how many of you have gotten scammed or have seen scams? Out of this, I forgot, like 400, 500, 600 people that responded, 20% said they've been scammed. So we're trying to eliminate that. The best way I can do it is twofold. First, I can tell you the simplest thing. You must treat everything like it is a scam until proven otherwise. Let me say that again. You must treat everything as a scam unless proven otherwise. This is not you are innocent until proven guilty. You are guilty until proven innocent as far as scams go. If you have any questions, like is Ripple doing an airdrop? Is Binance sending out free cryptocurrency? Am I able to get a nano if I just put in these different codes? Check with those people first. I would go to the official Ripple website, Binance, Coinbase, Nano, whatever it is, and go to their official website, drop them an email. Usually they get back to you within 24 hours and just ask them, hey, are you guys giving away free money? 10 times out of 10, they're going to tell you no. So that's the easiest way. Second easiest thing that we can do is to get rid of the scams that are already there for suckers that don't watch my channel. So first off, we created this on January 14th. We've got a pretty good track record. Here's why it's a scam. Here's the scam video link, the date that it was found, and the date removed. So we've got a pretty good track record so far, and it's pretty easy what we're asking you to do. First of all, let's pick the one that is blank. If there's a blank for date removed, that means it's not removed. So let's take a look at it and see why it's a scam. So we take a look at the actual YouTube video. And first we want to look at is the comments section. What are people saying? Well, they're saying it's a scam like crazy. This is a red flag. Not that it is a scam, but it's a pretty good chance it is. Now we're going to look at into the description of the video itself. And if you see stuff like this, to verify your address, just send from 1,000 to 1,000,000 XRP to the address below and get from 10,000 to 10 million back. Well, that's awesome, but it's a scam and a lie, and you're not special. You're not getting any free money. So just get that through your head and everything will be good. So how do we get rid of this? Very simple. We're going to downvote. click right here, which I've done numerous times. I don't know why this thing keeps popping up. And we're looking for a flag. Usually it's hidden because scammers like to hide the report flag. You're going to click these 3 buttons, click on report. You're going to see this thing that says scammer misleading. You're going to click on that. Then you're going to choose this thing that says, oh, I don't know, scams and fraud. Then underneath that, you're going to click this applies to links within the video description as it does in this situation. We're going to click next. We're going to go here. This is a scam. And we're going to click report. And that's all we have to do. So pretty simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you could do that, that'd be fantastic, because if I just do this once, it's just some nut who's saying this is a scam. But if you do it, now we're 2. And then if all the people that watch this video, now we're thousands. And that notifies YouTube, hey, check this out because it's probably a scam. All right, thanks for doing all those things. I really appreciate it. And stick with me to the very end as a bonus. If you like these types of videos, there will be 2 coming up. I don't know which ones they actually are, but they are for your viewing pleasure as the algorithm by YouTube dictates. I have nothing to do with it. And just click on those and it will take you to another video. And that is it. So thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you on the next one.